Guys, welcome to the channel, and in today's episode of LR Live we're on our second part of our visit to Britpart. Now, if you haven't seen the first episode, I suggest you take a quick look now. It's got some really interesting stuff, especially a very unique vehicle that they built recently. And if you can hang on till the end of the video, there is a little competition we're going to run. So watch it through to the end and see what you think.
So what sort of quantity of deliveries is arriving here?
Okay, we'll probably do 2 or 3 lorry loads a day coming in, so they come in on a loading bay behind you there.
Galvanised mud flat bracket. This is also a test for me to know my Land Rover parts.
Part number?
He'll know.
You don't know them.
MTC987.
Oh, get out.
MTC 3000 and 3001 if it's a front one.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes me feel sick.
Yeah.
The geekiness is strong. That's amazing. So, okay.
Play that game all day long, can't we?
Yeah. Wow, look at this.
Okay, so this is where we do all our packing.
This is me and my simple head, that those parts came from wherever they're manufactured in a Britpart box, and all you did is ship them on. But there's a lot more going on here than just very simply.
Sure, yeah, no, absolutely. We always like to package a product ourselves, make sure the specification of the product's right, make sure the packaging specification is correct. So when it gets arrives at the customer, it's in pristine condition.
Guys, just look at this. Yeah, until you see it, you can't really comprehend the scale.
No.
I mean, yeah. So that service kit, what's it for? What vehicle's that for?
This one, that's a 300 TDI service kit, so probably the second most popular one we sell.
And is everything in there going to be a Britpart component, or could that have a mixture of the filters made by...
On that one, that is pure Britpart.
That's pure Britpart.
If we look at this one, XS is our premium brand. This will have a combination of Marley or Coopers, so that will be a branded product which will be OE to Land Rover.
Oh, right. Okay, so this is all branded stuff.
All branded stuff. So I've got a Marley oil filter, Cooper's fuel filter, and a Cooper's air filter.
And will that be what's specified by Land Rover?
Land Rover change suppliers a lot on things like filters.
Okay.
So, sometime it will have been in Cooper's, it could have been Marley, it could have been another supplier at some time. I don't know what we use currently.
Yeah.
But these are all branded OE suppliers to Land Rover or to the automotive industry. This is where the bulk of the product is held, and this is where it goes out next day delivery. So this is a motorway full of forklift trucks, and they're moving the stuff around, getting product out of bulk stock, as we call it, bring it into bin one location for the guys to pick. So this is UK dispatch. Really, the UK market doesn't kick off till about 3 o'clock when the workshops have done and put the orders through for the next day. We also do what we call a VOR service, a vehicle off the road, which means that if you want to order at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, we'll put it on TNT. It will get there, hopefully, before 12 o'clock the next day.
Right.
So as the cars got more diverse, and when it was easy when it's a Defender, a Discovery One, and a Range Rover Classics, because most of the parts were common.
Yeah.
You didn't have to have a big stock holding. You could carry one set of brake pads and a disc, and it would do most vehicles. Now there's so many different parts. We carry the parts, we get them there to the guys the next day. So if they order before 5 o'clock, we can get it there for them to fix the car the next day.
Wow. Wow, Britpart shopping trolley. This is one of your orders?
Yeah.
So LR Centre.
So this is going to the LR Centre. I love the fact it's in a shopping trolley. That's hilarious.
So what time is it? 1:08.
It is now, 1:08. I've just signed it, and
Put your time on.
so it's 13:08, and that should be arriving in Liverpool tomorrow. Right, back in the shopping trolley, and hopefully this will turn up in Liverpool.
There you go. Bye.
Where does it go?
So all these lower racks, these are all hand picks. So these are where the guys are going around and picking with the trolleys to grab the parts. The higher ones are the bulk backing at the back.
Have a look around here.
Yep.
There's one thing I was really hoping to see.
Okay.
A massive stack of chassis.
Okay.
Where do we go for that?
Let's go and have a look at that.
Chassis to the ceiling. Oh, it does exist. It does exist. No way. No way. They're just stacked on the floor.
So we should have a chassis here for any coil sprung Defender.
So
and series as well. So 88, 109s, 90s, 110s, 130s. Normally aspirated. 300 TDI, TD5 or Puma. all had different engine mounts and different fuel tank locations.
So I still own my first ever car, which was a Series 3, and I stopped driving it because the chassis, I was re-welding the re-welds. So I've kept the car, and it's going to get full restoration, and it's going to go on one of these one day. Yeah, they're pre-bushed.
The pre-poly bush is a good reason for that, and that is that you can't buy imperial tube anymore. And so the original ones were pushing interference fit in the tube. You can't get that size tube anymore. It's simply not made. And so it's a metric tube, and you put a poly bush in, which then fits in, and it's snug.
Ah, so if someone tried to put their old bushes on,
If you put an old bush in this, it's too. There's no resistance. It's too. The hole is too big.
So to overcome that, it comes with the bushes already in.
Comes with bushes. And the advantage of poly bushes, it's 5 minutes to swap it. On a rubber one that's pushed in there, it's a good couple of hours to get them out and put them back in. These are crate engines. What we do is we strip them down, check the bores on them, check the pistons, even though they're brand new, and then we're swapping the head gaskets because we find that the Rhein's head gaskets are the best to put on these.
So this is a brand new assembled engine, comes in.
Yep.
But even though it could just go straight out,
Sure.
You're actually taking it apart, inspecting it, and also changing a few of the component parts.
Changing a few of the internal components to upgrade the specification. The problem with them being is that it's an expensive item, but also you've got a lot of labour to put it in. So what we don't want to do is somebody to put it in and then have a failure straight away.
Yeah.
So it's just future-proofing ourselves to say that this now is going to actually exceed the OE spec. What we tend to find with the later engines is that once they've failed in a car, so the cars will do 100, 120,000 miles, it needs the engine changing. Traditionally, 300 Tdci, you'd have the engine rebuilt with new bigger pistons, bigger bearings, and it would be a really good rebuild. These later engines, not just the Ford engines, but all later engines are really difficult to rebuild. The tolerances are so tight on them. And if you look at the size of the valves compared to original valves, there's more valves, but they are like a sewing machine.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we talk a lot about industry in this country being dead. Actually, I think it's just not celebrated as much as it is. And it is still going on. Yeah. And I think
you just don't get to hear about it.
You don't get to hear about it because it's happening quietly, and we're just getting on with it. Yeah. The quality's bang on. You know, they're really close to the original seats.
Yeah.
If not, well, I can't see a difference between these seats and the original seats, if I'm honest.
These are 96.
Yeah.
And originally, this panel would be sewn here.
Right.
But this panel, that's genuine. That would be a genuine one.
Yeah, sewn. Because that's where they always. That's where it always go. Always used to go. You go, yeah.
But then the Land Rover genuine one used to be exactly the same as this.
Yeah.
So this is the cushion, and that's the squab.
Yeah.
So when you
the cushion used to be fake stitching.
Used to be fake stitching, but
the back was stitched.
Yeah. So when you come to put them together, they weren't the same.
Yeah, and they always used to burst here.
Yeah. So I changed them.
So you just took that method onto the back.
Yeah.
So
that's one thing we did that's different.
Yeah. The method of making these seats is pretty antiquated. It's not high tech. You can't mod. We've got a CNC cutting table, but it's still very labour intensive. We need a quality control on that. The fabric, the foam, the wood that makes them is pretty easy to replicate, but the actual skill to assemble them and sew them properly is very difficult. So by doing it in-house, we keep that quality control.
I can imagine it'd be very easy to get two batches that were very different if it was happening abroad.
Absolutely, and if you get the base of a seat not matching the back of a seat because there's a slight shade difference on the fabric, or the way we've sewn them, it stands out a mile. So we quality check everything before it goes in a box and make sure that it is up to standard.
What's it called?
Chubby.
Chubby?
It's taller.
Oh, is it? Does it make a nicer armrest?
Yeah, have you got any fancy seats in? We're always higher up. And so the standard seat box, you're too low down.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you want to see the table working?
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So this is where it cuts to, and then I'll convey then.
This is it? This is what cuts it? That little spike there?
That little spike.
What's that made of?
Tungsten carbide.
That's a tungsten carbide tip. That's nutty.
we could cut the outside with this horrible Eastman's knife,
Yeah.
but then you'd have to have a template, mark this with a pen,
Yeah.
and then cut it out with a pair of scissors. So they're never consistent.
No.
Now everyone's exactly the same as the last one. So before it'd take you like 2 minutes to cut one out.
What is that?
So guys, do you know what that part is for? Do you know what vehicle it's for and what part it is? If you do, comment below and you'll be selected possibly out of all the correct entries to win a £100 voucher to spend on lrparts.net. So have a little rerun, check it out, see what you think, put a comment below and we'll look forward to selecting the winner very shortly. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Please do subscribe and I'll catch you on the next one. There they are.